Good afternoon, family. Grand Rising. How is everybody? Joyous rising, grand rising, great rising, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Welcome. This is Tuesday, right? I think it's Tuesday, January the 21st, 2025, and the time is 12:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm just checking my audio to make sure you all can hear me. The last time I went live, I was mute for a while. So, welcome. Check in, everybody. Hello, everybody. So, yesterday was a very wonderful day. It was beautiful for many people. A lot of people actually experienced cold weather and winter snowstorms, etc. They were even saying we were going to get snow here in northern Florida and Jacksonville, and they canceled the Martin Luther King parade. So, for all of you all who celebrate Martin Luther King's birthday commemoration, hello and welcome. And I hope you had a great MLK Day and a great Inauguration Day. Well, they canceled the MLK Day parade here, but we didn't have snow. We're still not having snow today. And they keep, having these weather advisories saying we're going to have freezing temperature. But right now it is 45 degrees. And yesterday it was similar. The day before it was in the 60s. So I don't know what they're telling the world what the weather's like here in Florida, but it's not too bad for January. So, they like to spread rumors that we're going to have a winter blast, which we did in America, but it wasn't too bad in Florida. And they even said they might cancel school for tomorrow. So who knows what they're doing behind the scenes. We know they have some weather modification. They play with the weather here in America, just like they play with a lot of things. So keep checking in, family. Welcome. I see people are saying, hello, happy Monday, happy Tuesday, excuse me. There is snow in Houston, Texas. Wow. Thank you for letting us know. Good wishes to everybody. Somebody say, yeah, we're still broke. I guess they mean no Nasara occurred. So I am checking in with my Instagram family here on my phone. Maybe I can bring you all a little closer because it's hard for me to connect for some reason to my StreamYard. But blessings to everybody. Welcome, everybody. I see Truth for Christ in the chat. Hello. When will Trump speak on the med beds? Good question. I'm not sure, but I will check into that. Oh, Craig Beach is hailing from Ohio. Hi, Craig. I am originally from Ohio. I was born and raised in Ohio, but I did spend most of my adult years in Kentucky where I raised my children. Welcome, everybody. Shamara says there is 3 degrees in Ohio? Oh my God, that is freezing cold. So, wow. And I heard New York, it's even colder. Let me move this just a little bit so I can get everybody in on this live. So today I just wanted to talk a little bit about the inauguration, which is just a ceremonial induction of office. And tell you what they won't talk about in the inauguration, okay? So welcome, family. I thought the inauguration was very interesting, very, very interesting. It looked pretty somber as I looked at the live coverage, and then I went back and actually took some snapshots and saw some stills of the inauguration, and people look pretty somber there. I saw a lot of people that many of us know are actually gone. I saw some people that may have been in masks. Some people look like, CG or computer generated images, but that's not what we're here to talk about today, because some people get upset if you talk about those type of things. And I hear you all saying there were no arrests, at least not on live. We didn't see any live arrests. No Nassar, no Jassar, no Brunson, no nothing. Well, I have to let you all know what they're not telling you, okay? Some of you know that because you have done the research for yourself, and then some of you have seen me post certain things on my Facebook page or on my Twitter page. But we know, family, that we are in the golden age, so keep checking in. It is 7 degrees in Oklahoma. Oh my gosh. Wow. Keep checking in, family. Good day to you, Queenie. Let's see. Eminem hates Trump. Okay. I thought Eminem was gone. Thank you, Tiger. They said he corrected it the next day in private. Okay. What are you saying? Basically, you said They said he corrected it the next day in private. Well, a lot of people are saying that Trump was inaugurated the day before January the 20th. And then, I mean, yeah, like on the 19th, and then the 20th was a show. So what happens in the Intel community is usually a lot of people will hear something from the Restored Republic, which is restoredrepublic.co online. You can follow them, or they'll hear another independent podcaster say something, and then everybody will spread that news as being truth. So whether or not he was inaugurated on the 19th and then they had a fake inauguration on the 20th, who knows? But we do know, good morning, Deb. Thank you so much. Hi, Chief Hawkins. We do know that all the world's a stage, okay? And I'm just going to be forthcoming with my podcast. You guys know I don't bite my tongue. I share what I think and know based on my research. So again, I'm not going to say anything purposely to upset anybody. I'm just going to tell you my take on things and what they're not telling you about the inauguration that occurred on yesterday. Keep checking in, family. Before we go on, though, I do want to say the last live that I did, some people were giving a Cash App blessing and some people were giving a super chat. I think you call it super chat and a super sticker. And it happened before I was able to acknowledge you. So I never want that to happen. I always desire for you to know that I appreciate all that you give to me. So I want to take the time to thank Tristan Early, Sister Teresa, thank you so much for the Cash App blessing. Willie Sims gave. Our Nicholas Murray gave a Cash App. Thank you so much. Who else? Sertoya and Tyranda gave a blessing or gave me a gift. Thank you so much. Sheila Willis gave me a gift. Thank you so much. Dennis Perkins, God bless you. I just talked to you on the phone this morning. Thank you for calling me and for sharing the good news that you had heard. We will share that today as well. Thank you for the blessing. Thank you, Sister Norma. Thank you, Rosemary. Thank you, Wynn Hillard. I appreciate you. Thank you, Cameron. You always give a gift. I appreciate you. Thank you, Lawrence Jordan, one of my very best friends of almost 20 years out of Connecticut, for the Cash App gift. Thank you, Sister Carol Rushford and Ezel Scott. So family, I hope you keep checking in. Now, Alexandro says, we receive the truth, not the fake. Ooh, thank you. Greetings, Medusa. Those says, I love the podcast. Thank you. Good morning, LT. And good morning to our Instagram family. Oh my gosh, Reginald says it's 0 degrees in Chicago. I love your city of Chicago. I love the downtown area. I love the multiculturalism and all the businesses and the shops, unique shops and restaurants you have there. It is an amazing city. I love the waterfront. Everything is so beautiful. It's just so cold in Chicago or Chi-Town, right? Denmark says, hallelujah. Okay. Deuce says, you are uplifting. Thank you. Why was Trump doing Illuminati signs at the takeover? Thank you for that question, More Monkey Business. And Anthony says, I'll have to pay you to shut me up and my partner's account down 2 or 3 years ago. I'm so sorry to hear that. What a time to be alive. I agree, Shannon. All right, Grand Rising Empress Vicky J. So what are my thoughts about the inauguration? First of all, you all know that the inauguration was yesterday on January the 20th, and that's just a ceremonial induction of office. Some people will say the inauguration yesterday was the inauguration of President Trump as the 47th president of the United States Incorporated, and some people will say he was the 19th president of the Republic. Now, what I will say is that we know that the Republic behind the scenes is being restored. So we had 2 governments operating side by side. You had the United States Incorporated and you had the Republic. Ooh, I don't know what's going on. You had the Republic. The Republic is the lawful government that has always been here in America, but it was usurped by a group of bloodline families. You guys know that. And they then incorporated themselves in 1871 in Delaware as a nonprofit religious organization with the Pope as the leader of that corporation. Looks like something's going on my Instagram. I don't know what's going on over there. But if you are on my Instagram, you probably want to go to my YouTube channel at Dr. Kia Pruitt Official or my Rumble page. So let me make sure, you know what? Let me make sure I connected everybody here on my page. Look like I did. Hold on. Keep checking in, family. We are talking about the inauguration. Okay, I did not connect my Instagram. I mean, not my Instagram, what is this? LinkedIn. So hold on. Let me connect my LinkedIn here. Now there we go. That's much better. Now everybody's connected. So whether you believe or know that the inauguration was of the president, the 47th president of the United States Incorporated, or the 19th president of the Republic, I do want to tell you that that inauguration yesterday was full of a lot of cues. We noticed, they did do some hand signs, but a lot of elite do. Some hand signs are nefarious. Some of them people were saying were not nefarious. But for me, of all the things that we saw yesterday, and I can show you some stills of what we saw yesterday, of all the things that were very impressive to me, it was actually Melania Trump, the way she looked. I mean, it was her for me. It was her outfit. She was really giving commander vibes, and somebody even said extraterrestrial vibes. And I thought it was interesting that she was standing behind President Trump while he was signing the executive orders. So a lot of things seemed a little interesting there with the inauguration. Thank you so much, Cameron, for the Cash App blessing. God bless you. This was it for me. Very, very interesting. What do you say so? And some people were saying, Dr. Pruitt, it sounds like you are turning on, the establishment. You're turning on Trump. No, I'm not turning on anybody. I am making observations that things just look peculiar, a little different. Yeah, kind of like an overseer or a handler. I mean, that's just what it looked like. You tell me what you guys thought. That was one of the steals that we saw, and I'm going to spin it. Okay, you guys know I like to talk about the positives, right? I just thought this was interesting, but keep in mind that January the 20th is not the real inauguration. January the 20th is the inauguration of the United States Incorporated. Okay, the real inauguration, or the lawful inauguration for our republic, according to the Constitution, is March the 4th. So no matter what we saw on yesterday, it could have been something just for the normies. It could have been something that handlers were doing. It could have been something like I said it was all paid actors, and people took offense, and they were like, well, how can you say it was all paid actors? There were congressmen there. There were justices there. Ketanji Brown Jackson was there. Are you calling her a paid actor? Yes, I am. And I'll tell you why I'm saying that there were paid actors there. Stay with me, family. I am just trying to show you some things that I noticed, okay, from the inauguration on yesterday. It was very interesting. Somebody said Trump said he would be a tyrant for a day. Right. He is also a wartime president. All right. Yes. So we just saw some things that looked a little interesting. I actually did listen to the inauguration speech, and Trump said the same things I said he would say, right? Because we already knew that he had 11 points that he had mentioned he would do from day one. And he said it in his speech. On my last two lives, I went over the 11 points that he would bring up on the first day. And he actually did say those things on his first day. But before that, let me just show you some of the stills that I took. Here I saw President Trump, it looked like his tie was real tight. And I'm not saying this to upset anybody. I'm just saying, I was looking at the neck, how tight his neck looked. And I don't know if you guys can see these stills here. I saw Melania standing behind Trump. I was like, ooh, wee, look at that. Can you all see that? I'll make it a large screen for you. What else? here. I'm just making observations. Some people brought up that he did not swear on the Bible. However, it's not constitutionally written that you must swear on a Bible, okay? But no, he did not swear his hand on the Bible, and that could have been staged, or maybe they did that for a reason. Some people were saying, well, they didn't give Melania enough time to come to his side with the Bible, so they had to hurry up and rush to do the inauguration at a certain time, and that's why he didn't put his hand on the Bible. But no, he didn't swear his hand on the Bible. Here they show you the Bible in another book. Maybe it was the personal Bible on top of the Bible. And then here you said somebody took a picture of her and Anonymous, the character Anonymous, and they were saying, well, V might be for vendetta. So maybe that's why Melania Trump, the president's wife, okay, they're all playing roles, all right? His wife was dressed like this. Who knows? But it was just a little interesting. That's all. I'm just showing observations. And some people were saying she was saying that she was getting her vengeance or vendetta against the deep state. And then you saw this hand gesture from Elon Musk, as well as the fake Vice President Kamala Harris, which looked like a, Hitler sign. I don't know what they were doing, but they're all paid actors. And I'm going to tell you how we know that's true. Okay, let me see. I think I saw a couple more that I wanted to bring up. Maybe I'm going by too fast. Thank you for the Cash App blessing. Harshanda, God bless you, heaven smile on you. Look at Melania. Ooh, you couldn't see her eyes. You see how the hat was over her eyes? This person was she looked like she was about serious business. And they even showed one still of her holding Trump's hand, and she was like standing there waiting on him. He caught up with her. She held his hand and she kind of pulled him alongside of her, almost like, she was about her business on yesterday. Then somebody by the name of Trader Girl Q said that Barron looked sad and worried all day, and this video proved that. She showed the video. I just took a snapshot. This was on Twitter, where she said that she was like, not a typical "we just won," the presidency golden era response. And that kind of, he looked sad in comparison to how he looked at the inauguration victory celebration in 2016. You see him here. And that just, kind of made people take pause. Some people said he was very serious. Thank you so much again for the Cash App blessing. And also, this is President Trump and Melania yesterday compared to them in 2016. Yesterday's ceremony almost looked like a funeral. People looked somber. Things looked staged. Some people look sad, and it makes you wonder if indeed yesterday was the funeral or death of the United States Incorporated, because it was not the lawful inauguration. And I can prove that. Oh, Elon was pointing to Mars. Thank you. I did notice that Trump also had on a purple tie, which is a mixture of red and blue, maybe, like bringing the two sides, that the Republicans and Democrats together. People were just, trying to decode the message, or maybe wearing purple to represent being a king of some sort. Just really, really interesting, family. But people just didn't look like they were in a victorious mood. It looked somber and sad. Robert says, I think it was wonderful Barron shook Biden's hand and Kamala's hand. I disagree with you. Oh, it's okay. Yes, absolutely. And her suit was black. That's why I said some were wondering if this was the death of the incorporation. I think it's wonderful that he shook their hand too. Thank you so much for saying that. It was a funeral for the old guard, and that's why I named this the inauguration of Donald Trump, what they will not tell you, changing of the guard. So this was a changing of a guard, because President Trump is, yes, I'm saying a wartime president, but he is also an interim president or a transitional president president between the corporation and the republic. The republic has not been officially announced yet, but according to our republic, the lawful inauguration date is not January the 20th. The lawful inauguration date, again, is March the 4th. So keep that in mind, that what we saw yesterday was not a lawful inauguration. I know it's going to upset some people, but according to our republic, you can see here, I'm looking at loc.gov, today in history, March the 4th. Until the ratification of the 20th Amendment in 1913, the official date for president's inaugurations was March the 4th. But when the 4th fell on a Sunday, as the 4th fell on a Sunday in 1821, 1877, and 1917, the ceremonies were held on March 5th. So whatever we saw yesterday, it was interesting. It was nice. We did see a lot of things that looked peculiar. However, it was not the real or lawful inauguration, according to the Republic. This doesn't mean that I'm turning on anybody or that I don't support, what's going on behind the scenes. We know that this is a changing of the guard. We know that the deep state is being dismantled. We know that a funeral indeed has occurred, the death of the deep state in the United States Incorporated, because again, the corporation that was incorporated usurped authority from the lawful republic. Our lawful government incorporated themselves in 1871 as, a religious nonprofit organization. Of course, but we know that that has been dismantled. Who was running that inauguration on yesterday? I say paid actors. That's what I say, paid actors. So let me see what else that says. The first president of the United States, George Washington, wasn't inaugurated until April 30th. Although Congress scheduled the first inauguration for March the 4th, 1789, they weren't able to count electoral ballots as early as anticipated. So consequently, that first inauguration was postponed. However, the inauguration is always, as historically has been, and according to our republic, March the 4th. Now, that was changed through some amendments once the United States Incorporated took over. And I'll let you do some deep diving and research that for yourself. Thank you, Chief Mack. He says, of course, they're paid actors. The whole world is a stage, and this is the Truman Show. Yes. And there are so many clones out there. Thank you. Thank you so much. And some people say that the real Trump is hidden out at Cheyenne Mountain. And then some people, like many people, will say that the real Trump, or the first Trump before the clones came out, actually passed away in 1989. And this person that come out as the real Trump stole his identity. And now we have clones, we have double. But the real Trump, as we know him, is allegedly hidden out at Cheyenne Mountain. So what we saw yesterday was a stage. It was a play. It was a show. And it was obvious to me. And I can prove that they are paid actors because, number one, most of the congressmen actually have titles of nobility. So on my Facebook page, there was a gentleman that asked me, how can you say that they're paid actors? And, the Congress people were there and justices were there. Ketanji Brown Jackson was there. Are you alluding to the fact that she and other congressmen, congressmen and women are paid actors? I said, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Why? Because according to our republic and the Constitution, you may not have a title of nobility and create laws. All of the esquires, all of the Congress people, or so-called law people, or most of them anyway, I even looked it up, have titles of nobility. Most of them have Esquire behind their name. If you have Esquire behind your name, ESQ, do you know what that means? That means you're not a lawyer. You are an attorney. You attorney for somebody. You're turning over authority from the minor, the person you represent, to the courts. So the judge is actually operating, doing a seance or a funeral in the court. Your attorney is not practicing or even using or executing or exerting law. He is speaking on your behalf, which is why you can't speak out in court. You have to whisper to your attorney. He's not a lawyer. Again, he's an attorney. All attorneys, including your Congress people, had to pass a British accredited registry exam, the bar exam. A British accredited registry exam or a bar exam means that you have to pass this test to prove your allegiance to the British crown. That's why you pass the bar. You don't have an allegiance to we the people. You don't have an allegiance to America. Your allegiance is to the British crown. That's why you pass the bar exam, the British accredited registry. So yes, they are all fake. All of them have to be dismantled. Most of them have already been done away with, which is why at the beginning and end of Trump's speeches, or the actor playing at Trump, the person posing that, whoever the avatar, at the beginning and end of his speeches, he plays YMCA, because the original YMCA, one of the original YMCAs, whether the first one, is actually stationed at Guantanamo Bay. He's sending out cues. The deep state, the cabal, the elite, whether they're on the benevolent side or the nefarious side, all speak in codes. They are all secret society members, okay? It doesn't matter if it's a good secret society or a bad secret society. They speak in codes. That's how they operate. So if you have Esquire behind your name, you will have to stop practicing whatever you're practicing, because it's not law. You're not practicing constitutional law. That's why we say, according to Nasara, in order to continue to practice law, you have to be retrained in constitutional law. So Esquire, title of nobility, they must cease and desist. This is why I uploaded the video on my channel about motu proprio, and how Pope Francis in 2014 sent a letter to Obama and says, we all have to cease and desist. Was he being benevolent or good when he said that? No. One of their own rules is that they have to tell on themselves. They have to show you what's happening. It's up to us to do our due diligence. That's why I'm bringing it out, that was obviously some type of funeral or some type of coded message yesterday, which I'm very grateful for the speech. I understand that you have to do this for the masses, but they have to tell you what they're doing. So Pope Francis told them in 2014 in that letter, motu proprio, he said, Obama's not the president of the republic. He's the president of a corporation. The United States is a corporation. He said all presidents from a certain year were presidents of the corporation, not presidents of the country. He also said all of the government agencies and three-letter agencies must cease and desist. All policy enforcers, also known as policy officers, must cease and desist. He said all court officials must cease and desist. I must stand down. We all must stand down, is what the Pope said in 2014 in his letter called Motu Proprio to Pope Francis, to Obama. And he said, if we don't stand down, General Ham will take over and lead the Grand Army of the Republic and dismantle the entire United States Incorporated. He went further down in that document. I put it up on my YouTube channel. I put a video up there. I can show you the document. He went further down. Type of one in the chat if you want me to show you the document, but we're going to move along. He went further down there and he said the African Americans were enslaved or made indentured servants to pay off the debt after the Civil War, to pay off the debt of the government. But then we decided to make everybody slaves to pay off our debts. But all of this must cease and desist. And we have to let the African Americans and the people know that we are fraudulent. Motu proprio. So all I'm saying is they have to show you and tell you what they're doing. They're showing you. So back to the Esquires or the congressmen or congresswomen, most of them have a title of nobility. And according to the Republic in our Constitution, they cannot have a title of nobility. So all of them must cease and desist, and they all must stand down. Also, they don't have a proof of oath of office. None of them. I showed you all a video of that, and I showed you this document. You can look it up. The entire federal cabinet has violated U.S. code. They have no oath of office on file. That's why I'm saying everybody that was there was either wearing a mask. This was computer generated imagery. It was all staged. I mean, I'm not judging whether that's good or bad. All the world's a stage. But the real inauguration again will occur on, according to our republic, March the 4th. Here you see, it says there was a new court filing. Now, this was actually filed a couple of years ago, but I'm just showing you what this is. A new court filing revealed that Kamala Harris, Merrick Garland, and other leading Democrats in the Biden administration, including Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg, have no oath of loyalty to the United States Constitution on file as required by law. This was a writ of quo warranto filed in Washington, D.C., and it asserts that the oaths of office for high-ranking members of Joe Biden's cabinet are nowhere to be found, and blatant violation of U.S. codes that requires all elected officials to keep a sworn affidavit of their oath on file, proving their sworn constitutional allegiance to the United States and to the United States Constitution. So Lisa McGee's attorney filed this on her behalf. She filed a motion to the court asking the United States attorney in the District of Columbia to require that a laundry list of elected and appointed Biden administration officials produce their oath affidavits within 10 days. Most of them did not provide anything, and the ones that did provide something provided, so you see here, they have not timely responded. Here are the people that did not timely respond, and then the other ones provided a defective affidavit. Sorry about the phone call. You see here? Why is this important? In the writ, Lisa McGee provided exhibits, which are mind-blowing exchanges of her efforts to verify the affidavits of the oaths of office of the officials in cabinet positions. Named are the following officials. She named Director of Center for Disease, U.S. Treasury Secretary, Janet Yellen. She named the Secretary of Energy, Food and Drug Administration, et cetera, et cetera. She goes on to name justices, commissioners of Food and Drug Administration, Vice President Kamala Harris, Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin. And in her Freedom of Information request, Lisa McGee identified that none of the public officials listed had valid affidavits. This is no small thing and has very large implications. I know some of you have heard this. Okay, this isn't new information for many of you, but for some of you it is. And again, here are those that failed to respond. A list of those that failed to respond. Since hearing about this writ process in early 2023, the writer says, I was curious to find out what was happening. I put on my big boy PhD pants and sent off an email to Todd S. Callender, Esquire, and this was the exchange. And he shows his exchange, and you guys could read that and see that these people did not provide any proof of oath of office. What are the findings? The people that are sitting in cabinet positions and appointed positions are not there legally. Every single order that has been issued by these people is null and void. No governor, federal officer, or employee, members of the United States Armed Services and Forces, state officials, or county officials is obligated or required to obey these orders according to this. Additionally, a case could be made that following any and all of the orders issued by the officials by other states or federal officers is illegal and is a violation of the oath of office. So I will leave this in the description section for you to read and interpret for yourself. There is no proof of oath of office on file for many of the actors that we see standing in so-called leadership positions. That's what I'm saying. People are saying hello to you, Chief Mack. The reason Jesus says the reason Trump didn't put his hands on the Bible is because he was still the president. Yeah, and it's not constitutionally required for you to put your hand on the Bible or to swear to the Bible on the Bible. I love you too, darling. So I just wanted to show you all that, yes, indeed, many people that are there fraudulently, if not all of them, in leadership positions. There's no oath of office. And a lot of them, as you all know, actually participated in some nefarious activities like money laundering, things dealing with children. And this is why President Trump, during his first administration, issued out Executive Order 13818, which requires that anybody that participated in crimes against humanity must have their assets frozen. So what we saw yesterday was an inauguration, thank you so much, of some sort. But again, it was not the official inauguration. Can't wait to link up with you, new wealthy people, and operate and trust together, Chief Mack. Chief Mack, if you are willing to and interested, I can drop a link in the chat for you because, I would like for you, if you would like to join me, to explain why I'm saying that the people that are posing as our leaders are fraudulent. They're fraudulent. I don't know how else to say it other than to prove it by showing you that they have no oath of office, no proof of oath of office. However, I did appreciate President Trump's speech. Who is this? Michael says there's a new bill coming, HR 25, which is about taxes. Yes, because they have to do away with taxes. The IRS, President Trump did say he would do away with the IRS and introduce, the Internal Revenue Service and introduce, okay, darling, he will introduce the External Revenue Services. All of this was planned behind the scenes. In 2017, I did a video and I showed you, I had put it up on my channels, but it keeps getting taken down. I did a video in 2017 for my Facebook audience, and I told people that there were some interdimensional beings, ETs, extraterrestrials, I don't know how people choose to call them, that actually have come to the planet to help ensure that things get done. They are here to help liberate the planet. So while we appreciate all the humans that are doing the work, the military, white hats of the military, Earth Alliance, we are so grateful for them. We're also grateful for the Nasara White Knights and for the interdimensional beings that are here to help. They're trying to drop this information to the people, which is why they're talking about drones. And they're saying the drones are the size of ships and cars. And these drones are over military bases. So some people actually have had some type of contact with interdimensional beings, whether we believe it or not. And I mentioned in 2017 in my video how I received some type of contact by some beings who said that they weren't from here. And they said that they were here to actually raise the vibrations of the planet. And they were here to ensure that the New World Order would not continue on, and that they were here to halt all of the nefarious activities of those people in place that call themselves New World Order, the Cabal, the Illuminati, etc. And when I did that video in 2017, I'd done it because somebody actually from my Facebook page said, why don't you just speak about it? Because you keep putting posts up about it. And in my contact or my encounter with these individuals, they told me, we've neutralized the bombs, we've neutralized all of the bad things that's supposed to happen, the poison in the air, we've neutralized all of the pain, the sadness, and the destruction of the whole world. And your job, Kia, is to raise the vibrations of the planet. That's why I always say that, because these beings, first of all, it was a female that stood in front of these beings to speak to me directly. I saw all of them, children, men, women, and how they present themselves. They were melanated, they were brown skinned, they had all white, and they had their hair wrapped up. Some of them had dreadlocks, but the female stepped in front of them and she said to me, you need to raise the vibrations of the planet, get all this information out as much as possible, and then raise up the vibrational frequencies, because let me send this to you, Chief. We will use those vibrations to help you all, to help liberate the planet. The energies that you all send, we're going to use that energy to help liberate the planet and to help neutralize all of these things that had been going on. This was in 2016 or 2017. Which was it? I want to say 2016. 2016 when they told me, 2017 when I did the video. Chief Mack, I dropped you the link. I sent it to your Gmail. So click on the link and I will bring you on. Thank you, Queen. Sister Melissa says, we're not fighting against flesh and blood. It's against the rulers of darkness and high places, entities, and skin suits. Absolutely. Thank you, Chief Mack. And some of us have ET kids. Benny is saying, somebody sent me a message. So many things Trump did. Yes. The military is under deep capture by extremists. Oh, wow. One group of them are on the order of 9 angels. Look it up. Angels. They are behind a lot of chaos and sacrifices. Woo-wee. Yes, I'm tired of being lied to as well. And so when I asked this being who stood in front of me and said, make sure you raise the vibrations of the planet, I asked her, why do you look like me? And interestingly enough, and it was kind of a little weird, she said, because I am you. And I just got chills when she said that. But this is why I always talk about raising the vibrational frequencies of the planet, because a lot of them can't not do anything, or they took an oath or some sort to not interfere in human affairs unless asked. Okay. And I don't know if we literally asked for help, but in many ways, your cries, your prayers, all of that was asking for help. But again, as I said, I do appreciate, I see you, Chief, I'm bringing you in 1 minute. I do appreciate a lot of the things that Trump said on yesterday. And if you've been following me, my last 2 podcasts, I told you he said he was going to come out the gate and we were going to go full prosperity from day one. And I mentioned that he was going to say these 11 things, which is exactly what he said on day one: cut out the IRS. He also said he was going to sign a new executive order to cut federal spending for any schools that were pushing critical race theory or transgenderism. He said he was going to do away with the electric vehicle mandate of Biden. He said also that he was going to exonerate or pardon J6 political prisoners. He was going to drill, baby, drill, and declare a national emergency to approve new energy projects starting from day one here in America. He was going to end the Russia-Ukraine war. He said all of this in his campaign. He also talked about ending or dismantling the deep state or getting rid of everybody that opposed him. Really, he was saying that opposed the republic or we the people. And he said so much more. But the first thing he said is, once I cut off the IRS, that alone. Thank you for the Cash App blessing, Chief Mack. I appreciate you. I love Chief. He always takes good care of me. He said that alone is going to cause America to be prosperous, because what had happened before or initially. Welcome, Chief Mack.
Welcome. Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you. One second, Chief. What had happened initially was, before we even had the Internal Revenue Services, is that the government would make money by putting tariffs on other countries. So if you wanted to, import certain things from your country, we would put tariffs on you. But once our republic was usurped or overtaken, they stopped putting tariffs on other countries and start taxing the people. Well, now you have the republic being restored. So the IRS has to be done away with. That's why Trump said he's going to do away with the IRS. That's why he said he's going to downsize the government. That's why the Supreme Court of the United States last summer overturned or did away with the Chevron doctrine, because the Chevron doctrine allowed these agencies to create themselves out of thin air, lie and say they were part of our government, and create all kind of policy statutes and codes and force you to go along with them. and then the courts would force you to pay the fines. Well, the Supreme Court of the United States overturned all that this summer. So they have to be dismantled. So Trump, what he said in his speech is actually what he has to do, because the Supreme Court of the United States said so, because the republic has been returned, because the land and the government has been returned right back to we the people, including the autonomous indigenous peoples here in America. And you have Earth Alliance enforcing all of that and making sure it happens. Welcome, Chief Mack. How are you?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic, Dr. Kia.
You're a little low, my darling. Your volume is low.
Let me see if I can turn it up some.
Okay, while you're doing that, Isis asks, are we filing taxes this year? I'm not. Because filing and paying for taxes is voluntary, but I'm not telling anybody what to do.
I'll say
go ahead, Chief.
Taxes are a debt to the public and a credit to the people and the private. There are forms that the IRS has that are a plus for people in the private. The purpose of people being taxed on the public, they give unlimited access to people on the private sector, because all of the taxes are going to one giant pool for people who are operating in trust to recoup any and all things. The system is not broken, the system is fixed.
The system. Hold on, Chief. I still can't. Hold on, Chief. Excuse me. I apologize. I still can't hear you. Can you guys hear Chief? Because it could just be on my end. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear him, please. One minute, Chief. I just want to make sure they can hear what you're saying, because this is excellent information. Okay. They can hear you, Chief. Oh, somebody says they can't. Can you turn up just a little louder, Chief?
I am trying to turn my volume up on the.
They're saying it's low.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. These headphones, I was actually in the midst of doing something, but I'll try to talk louder. The taxes are a debt to the people in the public, because all of your taxes are going into one giant pool for people.
They still can't hear you, Chief. Sorry, Chief. They still can't hear you.
Hold on for 1 second. Hold for 1 second.
It said you sound very far off.
Hold for 1 second.
Are you able to come on camera?
I'm going to come off these headphones.
Okay. Are you not? You're not going to come on camera, Chief?
Can you guys hear me now?
That's much better. Are you able to come on camera? They want to see you. They want to see you if they can, Chief.
What I was saying is that taxes are
Chief, can they see you? They want to see you.
I'm putting on clothes right now. I don't think you guys want to see my fat stomach and my fat arms. So
okay.
I'm multitasking right now.
Okay, loudly and clearly. They say it's much better. Go ahead, Chief. My apologies.
What I was saying is that taxes are a debt to the people and the public. The people and the public are unalive. So since you're unalive and you're operating from an unalive man and woman, because they created a straw man and straw woman, and you don't matter to them because you don't know enough to change your identity to the living. So any taxes or anything, when they say inflation is just a code word for the rich that they're going to rob the public. That's what inflation is. Inflation is one way they can stick their hands in our pocket and give us and have more control over us. The public gets done like that. Once you are set up in the private sector and you operate in trust, then that's saying that you are alive, and they don't have those jurisdictions over you to handle you like that. That's why when you go to court, the judge is wearing all black, because he has an unalive man and woman coming into that courtroom. And for those of you who have gotten the trust from me, if you hadn't received your foreign grantor's number yet, either email me, text me, and call me. Because what they're doing, there's a plethora of people that's understanding how powerful operating trust is. So when I got my trust almost 3 years ago, not that many people knew about it. But there was an overwhelming amount of people that responded from the live that I did with Dr. Pruitt about 5 months ago. We got an overwhelming. I didn't realize that the information I was dropping, a lot of people didn't know that. But operating in trust is a beautiful thing, because those of you who have gold, silver, foreign currencies, you know, when the banks are going to be redemption centers, they're either going to give you, they're not in business to give you anything. They're going to either set you up a trust and charge you a lot more than what I charge you, or you can get it through me and set it up yourself. But it's just a beautiful time to be alive, because all we got to work on doing is just staying healthy, guys. And one way I found out in my 53 years, I'll be 54 this year, is that when you get rid of all the anger, the frustration, the hate, the envy, and malice out your heart, because those are lower vibrational tendencies that unalives the body slowly. And we don't have to do that, because the rich don't operate in that capacity. We got to know that we are the new wealth leaders of the whole world.
Right.
Uh, a lot of us are going to come together when we get these funds, and we have to know how to take the funds that we're going to get. And this is not about us. It's a spiritual movement. And Dr. Kia, like you said, let me tell you something. I have been seeing for the past 4.5, 5 years, what they call shooting stars. They're not
Mm.
stars. Those are our celestial family coming to bring
Mhm.
balance back to Earth. And I've been saying this since 2020. And I
Wow.
just dropped a video on my page about 2 to 3 weeks ago of a whole entourage of celestial beings coming down.
Wow.
They look like what we call fallen stars, but those are actually celestial beings coming to Earth to bring balance, and they're not playing. So I would
Mhm.
advise everybody to operate with high vibrations, because we don't know if we're going to be around tomorrow, next week, next month, or next year. We have to ask for protection, guidance, ask to shield us, because people are dropping like flies every day. So we have to
There-
clean our hearts out, guys. We have to be real. We have to be honest with ourselves. And so those of us who are going to be put in position, we're going to be put in position not for ourselves, but the Great Spirit is going to give us an overflow so that we can bring righteousness back on the earth and fairness. It's going to take us operating in trust to get the homeless people off the streets, because they're not going to do it. It's going to take us. So it's just a beautiful time to be alive, guys. So, like I said, I'm just Dr. Kid. Thank you so much
yes. You're
for giving
welcome.
us the financial forecast.
Yes,
I would have to
sir.
say, me myself, I wouldn't have made certain moves and had it been for you. And I'm going
Thank
to
you, Chief.
ask all of us who have been able to benefit and get ourselves set up a particular way. We owe this sister all the
Oh,
greatest us that we can give her. If we get funded, when we get funded, we need to take care of this sister, because I appreciate her. We need
thank
to
you,
make
Chief.
sure we take her and look out for her.
Thank you, Chief. You're so wonderful. Family, this is Chief Mack here. You can follow him on Facebook. His Facebook, is it Facebook you want them to follow? Where can they follow you, Chief?
I have my business website set up right now.
Okay.
Just got that completed last week. I'm on TikTok. I'm not really trying to be out there like that, because I could have been paid
Okay.
on social media, but I just I just care about people. I
Well, they
want
want to
us
know how to
all
get
to
in
win.
contact. They want to know. I appreciate that. You do want us all to win. They want to know how to get in contact with you. Email, phone
Well,
number.
the email, just get in contact with my email. Just constantly email, because I have a lot of emails that I get right now. I'm grateful, guys. I'm a very resourceful man. I have a lot of information. I'm not the smartest man at all, but I'm confident with the information that I've had, that it can set you up right. That when we get the funds, the thing is setting ourselves up to the way to get free of this beat system, so that when we get the funds, they can't steal from us. That's the most important
Yes,
thing,
Chief.
is to free ourselves. So I have the
That's
wherewithals, I have information, I have documentation, I have some tremendously powerful paperwork that actually does that. I can guide you the way. And everything that I talk to people about, I have done it myself. I'm
hmm.
not talking to you about what I don't have. I have done it myself. And
What
I'm
is
just
your
I'm just
email, Chief?
proud.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
What's your email? Because Sister Sheena Intuitive Reading
You
said,
you that's unity in motion.
okay.
Unity in motion, the number 45 at yahoo.com.
Sister Sheena, can you send him another email? She said she would like to have your phone number, but if you send him an email, he'll tell you
Uh,
how you can get in
just, just,
contact.
just, 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 just email me again. Email me.
Okay.
Or if you're on Facebook, you can inbox me on Facebook. You can email me.
Okay. So he is on Facebook as Judah Allen, right? Is it Judah Allen? Yes, it's
Yes.
Judah Allen. Judahallen. This is him right here. He's not really, he does have a TikTok, he said, and YouTube actually, but he doesn't really post that much. He's mostly in the private. So Unity in Motion 45 is where he wants you to reach him. But his posts on Facebook are very popular. You have like, I mean, you've gotten several thousand just in the last few days, but he's got 25,000 followers, and a lot of that just happened. It's been happening over a course of time, but I mean, most recently, a lot of people have been following you because you have been reporting what's going on in the skies, what's going on, with the powers that be, and all type of things.
And just so people know too as well that our our original government was ran by the indigenous melanated people. That's why the penny is copper color. And our government,
Okay.
which was a Republican government, has been taken over by the Nazis in the 1930s. So I'm gonna be
Mm.
honest. It doesn't matter whether they're red states, blue states, Democratic Republic, left wing and right wing. Those birds are hooked up to the same wings,
Well,
and
can you
they
mention?
are.
Mm.
They are they Trump is basically the control opposition, and like you said, their time is up.
So can you explain? You said something about the copper colored penny. What I missed that. What are you saying there? The penny is copper, is brown, and I think is he faced in opposite direction, that president, as the other on the other coins? We must have lost you, Chief. Basic Lay says America did not start out with the two-party division system. Thank you for that. All right. So, everybody has their free will and their way of thinking and believing things. And all I'm saying is that we had the United States Incorporated. All of that is ending, and we are transitioning to the republic. And I'm also saying that I can appreciate the things that President Trump said that he's going to do, whether he's being forced to say or he's doing of his own volition. To me, it doesn't matter because it's going to happen. And here's what I really want everybody to take away from the podcast. Are you there, Chief? I might have to send him a link again. What I really want, Chief, if you can hear me, I'm sending you another link. People to take away from the podcast is that we are in control of our own destiny. We are the ones that are going to save ourselves. I appreciate the presidents. I appreciate the Galactic Federation. I appreciate leadership. I'm grateful for the military, for the white hats, the Nasara, white knights, Earth Alliance, all of them. I am very, very grateful. I also know that we are the saviors for which we're looking. I even appreciate the Most High, God. My point is, the only person that can save you from yourself is yourself. The only person that's going to actually grow your food and feed you and your family is you or your community. So let's stop, being so disgruntled when people bring up things that are their observations. You there, Chief? What I notice is that some people get upset when you bring up an observation, like you'll say, "Oh, certain things at the inauguration looked a little different than usual." It's not a judgment or saying, that anything's good or bad. It's just merely an observation. But at the end of the day, we have to control ourselves, and that's what no leader is going to tell you. Take it upon yourself to free yourself. Okay. I don't know of many leader that's going to say, stop trusting and believing in me. No, most leaders won't tell you that you have the power within yourself. You don't like something that these people are doing that we call the deep state, then reject them. Then don't accept what they're saying. Then don't obey. Do not consent. You don't want to pay taxes. The first thing, the biggest thing that we can do to end the IRS is to stop paying taxes, because if everybody stops paying taxes, I don't know what they're saying, repair outlook. If everybody stops paying taxes, the taxes is going to be done away with anyway. The IRS will be done away with anyway. Thankfully, the IRS is going to be dismantled, but I'm just saying, they can't arrest everybody. Okay. And if everybody operates outside the jurisdiction of the United States Incorporated, then the corporation would have dissolved a lot sooner. You are the savior for which you're looking. I am a savior for which I'm looking. I have the ability to grow my own food. You have the ability to grow your own food. We have the ability to create community. We have the ability to teach our own children. We get upset about the school systems. They're not teaching my children right. They're racist. They're teaching this curriculum. Well, why don't we take it upon ourselves to teach our own children? And people will say, I don't have the money. I don't have, without even trying. But if we all look within, family, we will find out that the answers for which we've been looking is right inside of us. You have the power within yourself. People are like, well, America's just after it. Everything's just bad. If that was a fake inauguration, if things looked the way it looked to me, everything looked so dismal, and I saw masks and I saw things that look unreal, then shoot, I'm just going to give up. Why would you give up on your own life? Why would you give up on your children, your posterity? You are the savior for which you're looking. You have the ability, again, you can't hear, to take care of yourself or to help yourself. Somebody said they cannot hear. Chief Mack, can you hear? Are you there? You can't hear me. Okay. Chief Mack says, I will send you another link. Okay. He can't hear us. Let me see. I don't know how to. Let's see. Can you hear us, Chief? Well, if you can hear me, I sent you another link. So that is what they're not going to tell you, family, is that you have the ability within yourself to take care of yourself. We have the ability to help one another as a community. We have to stop depending on the president and Congress and these leaders, because what are you going to do if they become compromised? What are we going to do if it takes time to do certain things? What are we going to do if, it takes a longer period of time than what we anticipated? We can't just stop living. We have to take care of ourselves. We have the power within ourselves. Thank you, Sister Sheena. Absolutely. We have power within ourselves to take care of ourselves. You are the savior for which you are looking. Go ahead. Chief, basically, I was just saying that we have to stop depending on other people, even benevolent leaders, because we have power within ourselves to take care of ourselves. I thought, can you hear us, Chief? Can you hear us, Chief? It's not working. Somebody said you can hear just fine. Can you cash in your dinars at Chase? 1 second, please. I'm trying to get Chief back on here. We cannot hear you, Chief. Let me get in his private chat. Can can't hear you. I'm going to send him another link. This is interesting. Okay. Keep checking in, family. So I remember when we first started talking about the Republic being restored as a whole, this community in 2016, a lot of people just decided, not to move forward, not to start businesses, not to get their home, but they were just waiting. A lot of us were just waiting on this to happen. But what happened was, for the 4 years that Trump was in office, he was only able to do certain things. He couldn't accomplish everything. And then we had 4 years of Biden. So that meant 8 years. Some people were just waiting and watching, when some of us could have started growing food. We could have had a whole farm. We could have, excuse me, let me tell him I'll call back. People could have bought land. People could have gotten their family members together. So much could have happened if people weren't just waiting on someone to save them. That's all I'm saying. You have power to do certain things of your own volition. Can you hear, Chief? Nope, still can't hear him. So another thing that I wanted to bring up is that yesterday, speaking of the things that Trump was able to accomplish, or the executive orders he were able to sign, because all this stuff happened behind the scenes anyway. The Republic's been restored. The Supreme Court of the United States already said they had to downsize the government by dismantling all of those fake federal agencies. There are 441 of them on a list that I have. The FBI, CIA, they are the three-letter organizations. All this stuff has been happening behind the scenes. The Supreme Court of the United States also made sure that state-sponsored banks could now operate independently from the central banks or the Federal Reserve, and they could also issue out their own gold-backed currency because they have their own charter, their own rules, and all that. So a lot of stuff was going on behind the scenes. That's why state lawmakers passed legislation to repeal or remove the state sales taxes from the sales of precious metals, because they were returning us back to lawful money, which they really didn't have to do, because the Constitution already says that the only thing that can be used to pay off the debt is silver and gold. And the Constitution defines the dollar as a fixed weight in silver. However, lawmakers in 45 states, according to the Sound Money Defense League and according to Dr. Pruitt, because I've been researching this over time and showing you through the years which states repealed the state sales taxes from the sales of precious metals. Therefore, these 45 states, by doing that, by removing the state sales tax or repealing the state sales tax, they have reclaimed silver and gold as money. They all are able to do this because you have forces that are greater than these people in power that said, all right, the human population, or the people on the planet, whatever you want to call us, have suffered enough. Your contracts are over. The bloodline families that were ruling, you now must cease and desist. All of this is over. And so now you have President Trump signing executive orders, and we're grateful for them, basically doing what he has to do. And I'm grateful for it. One of those things that was just announced yesterday that I'm happy that he did was to announce that the United States pulled out of the World Health Organization. And some people said, Kia, that happened. They were talking about that a while ago. Are you there, Chief? No, some of you were saying they were talking about that a while ago. Are you saying it happened again? And so what I'm saying to you is, last night at 9 o'clock, about 9:11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it actually happened officially. Hi, Rosemary, Missy. Thank you so much for the blessing. I appreciate the super sticker. Thank you so much. God bless you. Heaven smile on you. And thank you all, for all of you that have sent me either a super sticker, a Cash App blessing, what else? A super chat, whatever you call it. Thank you. And also for you that are just being here, sharing intel, information, and sharing your time with us. So let me show you what came out last night. And this is a good thing, because again, the World Health Organization has to go away. It's part of the deep state. Remember, with the overturning of the Chevron doctrine everything that's attached to the fake government, the United States Incorporated, the deep state, has to be dismantled. Also, we're going to have med beds or medical beds and technology, advanced technology to come out that will, mean that will completely eliminate pharmaceuticals, the medical industry as we know it, and even eliminate some traditional doctors, because with these med beds, you'll be able to get inside them and they can detect all of your ailments and then cure any disease. Okay, even those that you receive by taking the fake remedy for that sickness that shut down the world. Let me see where that information is. This is what the article says from last night. Trump withdrew the United States from the World Health Organization. Public health experts claim that the United States withdrawal from the WHO or the World Health Organization could undermine the nation's standing as a global health leader and make it harder to fight the next pandemic. Really? That's what they're saying. But most people, or many countries in the world, have free health care. And they have access to good health care, many of them. But in America, you have to pay thousands and tens of thousands of dollars, even when you have insurance. Okay. And some people would suggest that some of our health care, although it's advanced, so to speak, is not the most advanced. And when you try to use natural remedies and you allow your physician to know this, they will speak against you. So, of course, the mainstream media is going to spin it and say that if we're withdrawn from the World Health Organization, it's a bad thing. But the World Health Organization not only perpetuates certain things, I got to watch what I say, I am on YouTube, but they were keeping us from our loved ones during the shutdown when they were sick in the hospital. President Trump moved quickly on Monday yesterday to withdraw the United States from the World Health Organization, which is a move that some public health experts say will undermine our nation's standing as global health leaders. But in his executive order that he issued out 8 hours after he took the oath of office, Mr. Trump cited a string of reasons for withdrawal, including the WHO's or World Health Organization's mishandling of the CV. Okay, and the whole shutdown and the failure to adopt urgently needed reforms. He said the agency demands unfairly onerous payments from the United States, and he complained that China pays less. So this move was an unexpected move, according to them, but we knew that it would happen because we know that all of these agencies and corporations and bureaus and all these, three-letter organizations have to be dismantled. So they said that it was an unexpected move and that Trump has been railing against the World Health Organization since 2020 when he attacked the agency over its approach to the CV, and he threatened to withhold the United States funding from it. In July of 2020, Mr. Trump took formal steps to withdraw from the agency, and now it is official. Thank you so much for the Cash App blessing, family. So the article concludes by saying after he lost the election, which we know he really didn't in 2020, the threat did not materialize. On his first day in office on the first day in office, January 2021, number 46 blocked it from going into effect. So Trump, during his first administration, actually withdrew us and he took the initial steps and he made it official, but Biden blocked that when he took office, or he staged the coup d'etat in 2021. And now Trump is back in position. One of the first things he did was to sign the executive order to withdraw the United States. So, I could appreciate that they're giving Trump the accolades for it. He did sign the executive order. And I would also add that I would also give, thank you for the Cash App blessing, the Supreme Court of the United States accolades for mandating that all of these organizations be dismantled. Are you there? I can hear you, Chief, but you can't hear me. Oh, I can hear you. It's a little muffled.
I can hear you.
Okay, I can hear you now. So earlier I was just saying that we have the power within ourselves to save ourselves and to turn our own condition around. And although it's good to have leaders, at some point we'll have to stop depending on, people to help us. And I am grateful. Like yesterday, last night, Trump signed an executive order to withdraw us from the World Health Organization. And I was also saying I give credit to him, but also to the Supreme Court of the United States that said that all of those agencies have to be dismantled. But even if this doesn't happen, Chief, we need to learn to contact our herbalists, the people in our own communities that can help address our illnesses. We need to teach our own children. We need to have our own monetary system. We need to lead our own selves, is what Dr. Kia Pruitt is saying. What say you, Chief?
That's what's happening right now. We're going to have to learn, and that's called operating in trust. They took us about 100 years or so. They took us out of operating in trust, because in trust we did everything that you said. We were.
Can't hear you. They're saying, Chief. Sorry, Chief. Can you turn it up a little louder? I apologize for interrupting you.
Let me come out these headphones.
Okay.
Can you hear me better?
Yes, that's much better.
Yeah, they took us out of operating in trust 100 years or so ago. Operating in trust, we did everything. We were self-sufficient. We didn't have to depend on this government. We did everything ourselves, and they took us out of there. And we had farms, we had our own food, we had everything, we had tourism, we had wealth, we had all of that, and they took us out of that to having us to depend on them, and then took the power from the people, and then gave it to them. So they using our resources, our power, our own ability to be our own saviors and salvation, and then gave us an outsource of a savior, which is really the savior of this world, which is Lucifer, and made us depend on him. And we given all our power, jurisdiction over to an entity, and he got his people, his entities ruling and running the earth, and got us acting like baboons and hating each other when we need to love each other and come together. And that's how we're destroying this regime, because the right people are coming together under trust and loving each other with actions.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And if we all look out into our community and look at the individuals that have certain gifts and certain skills, there would be no need for government. There would be no need to get money from them, or food from them. We can grow our own food. We could tap on the shoulders of our family members that could start a school. There's just so much we can do when we tap into our own power. And it's high time for us to do that. And that's one reason I think it took us so long to go into the golden era.
And Dr. Pruitt,
Yes.
can I add this before I forget real quick?
Yes.
I wanted to say this to your audience. I'm going to tell you guys how important what the world is going through right now. And I'm sorry to say, if many of you don't know this yet, if you continue to do more research, you're going to come to this understanding, which I have. You're going to realize that there is no hell that nobody's going to. When you know all of the evil and wicked things that have been going on behind the scenes in this world, with the trafficking, with the eating of human flesh, and with the seance and things that's going on behind closed things, with certain species that's masked around as people like us, but are not people in the inside, that got the whole world worshiping them and loving them. When you realize that, you realize there's no hell when you end it already. Then you realize that if you don't get rid of all the anger, envy, malice, and jealousy out of heart, then that's a sure thing that you're going to repeat and being reincarnated back into this BS. I'm telling you this. So we got to purge our hearts from all the evil that was raised against us, clean our hearts out, and then operate in trust toward each other and start loving each other with action. There's no reason for anybody to be loyal. You need to separate yourself from toxic people. You don't need to listen to toxic people. There are people that have a lot of envy and hate in their heart and jealousy toward each other,
Right.
and will try to slander and defame your name to try to do a destiny swap. I'm here to tell you, people like that won't last for too much longer, because this is not the
Mm.
time to be lower vibrational at all. We ought to be able to
Absolutely.
talk to each other like adults, and we ought to be able to uh, handle matters and trust with each other.
It's
We should
true.
do that. And if you're not to that point yet, you're not going to make it on the righteous side, on the plus side,
Mm.
and trust. You're not going to make it. I'm telling you that. Clean your hearts and let's operate as consenting adults and righteous seeds and chosen ones. We were sent here to be the savior and salvations of our family. Many of us are the only ones that are doing this process. And we have to operate in trust so that we can set the foundations for our offspring, our loved ones who are going to be born back into this. We can set the stages up. This is why the rich have trust accounts, so that
Mm.
when they transition, that trust don't transition. That trust is here that makes sure that what they put in that trust, that their family that is born into this world, that they are operating on the plus side. That's why that's one of the reasons why trust is there, because it still lives even when you transition. And if you happen to be reincarnated back into this realm, that your trust is going to make sure that you don't have to be on the negative side, that you're operating from a
Mm.
positive side. That's how important operating in trust is. So we have to learn how to operate in trust. This is how serious this is. So don't
Yes, sir.
let anybody gaslight you. You don't worry about what they got to say about you. Move in faith, move in trust, move with understanding, move with love, move with high vibrations, and be happy, because the ancestors can see that, and they say, "Touch not my anointed one." How many anointed people we have on here? Because I know there's some very smart people that listen to Dr. Kier. The
Thank
people in
you.
this test right here, you guys are smart.
There are
You have
like
to be, because
there's
this sister puts love. She puts positivity. She puts
1,355 here.
understanding.
Yes,
She
sir.
preaches all that.
Mm. Absolutely. I was just telling you there are 1,355 people here on the chat. That's beautiful. And there's so many of us that if even if this group of us continue to love and support each other, we're going to all be all right. Chief and family, in other news, I just wanted to let you know that since we've been keeping our eye on what's happening in the financial sector, that you have other countries that are ready to ditch the SWIFT system and go to a new payment system. People are ditching the dollar, as you all know. And you know what they're doing here? They're actually telling information little by little. We've covered much of this information already, but if you're interested in following Brics or what's going on with Brics, look at Watch Your Guru, that website, watchyourguru.com. But the latest official country that joined the Brics Union, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, is Nigeria. They joined as a partner on January the 18th. So we see a lot of African nations not only forming an allegiance within themselves, but they're also kicking out colonists. For example, Niger, Burkina Faso, Chad, Senegal, and Mali all kicked out the French, their military from their and the miners from their countries. And that then talk about using your own power. I keep saying that we have power within ourselves. When those 5 nations, just those 5 in Africa, kicked out the French, that those movements then forced France to suffer financially. Now they could no longer eat off the land of those African nations. They could no longer rape the land. They could no longer exploit the children and make them do all of the mining. They could no longer oversee the politics, the religion, anything, the culture, anything that was going on in those African nations. So then what happened was France started to suffer. Okay, you can make the deep state suffer by rejecting them. Just do not consent. And so once France started suffering and their economy started struggling as a result of the African nations kicking them out, then the parliament did a no confidence vote and got rid of the whole financial department in France, the whole, what do you call it? Political administration in France, except for the president. And now the president of France is being pressured to step down. So this is what I mean by we have power within ourselves. We just have to say, I do not consent, and actually stand on our own 2 feet. So many of these countries are stepping down, and they're forming alliances with like-minded people like we do here with our soul family. But the most recent article that just came out on the 18th is that the federal government of Nigeria formally accepted the invitation to join the Brics bloc, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, as a partner country. So it says this decision underscored Nigeria's commitment to fostering international collaborations. This will leverage economic opportunities and advance strategic partnerships aligned with the nation's development objectives. So BRICS is on the move, and what they're doing is basically Vladimir Putin and the Russian peoples and some of the Russian governments are offering African nations forgiveness of debt that they owe them, grains, and military support against the United States Incorporated. So the United States Incorporated has no power. They are defunct. They have no money. They are insolvent. And so this makes way for nations to say, I'm not only leaving the United States Incorporated, but I'm leaving all of the European powers that had enslaved all of these different countries, and we're going to form an alliance together. And so I just wanted to let you all know that Nigeria is on board, and really all exporting nations have in some way either joined the BRICS bloc, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, or the Shanghai Corporation, which is that is a conglomerate of Asian nations. So they've all dropped the dollar, and they've all utilized or decided to use their own currencies backed by precious metals for trade. And that's about it. That's what I wanted to bring forward to you today. What do you have to say about these nations forming an alliance, Chief, against the elites who are running the world?
Well, I'm going to say something. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loudly and clearly.
Okay, listen, guys. On the private sector, these countries were never against each other, guys. In the public, they play like they were against each other. They were never against each other. The private hasn't changed, guys. They were never fighting against each other. They were all, because listen, the whole world was under one wicked authority. The whole world. They were never fighting against each other. They just gave the appearance to the public that they were fighting each other so that they can use our children to put in these armies, shoot them up with these shots, and get them to unalive each other. But they were never against each other. People should know that back in the 30s, that George Bush grandfather, Prescott Bush, him and Hitler were buddies and business partners. Come on, guys. Come on. They were never fighting against each other. They're all under one authority. I can go really, really deep, but some people may not be ready to handle what I'm going to say. So I'm not trying to make nobody throw up. It's me, but it's beyond wicked.
Say whatever you got to say, Chief. Or you can come back another time. You can say it now or whatever you're comfortable with.
No, I'm not going to say because it makes the people throw up. I can't give them that kind of meat. They're not ready for it. You got to chew it up for them.
Okay, got it. So you're saying that some of these countries were actually buddies, and they weren't really in the private. And you know what? Now that you say that,
the private sector, these countries would never fight amongst themselves because the whole world is under an umbrella of wickedness. Listen, it said when the world was turned over to the wicked. It said the world, not a particular, it said the whole entire world was turned over to the wicked. And they are tremendously cunning. So they have to make us think that they're fighting against each other so we can think and choose and pick sides. They have to continue to create us as enemies toward each other, white against black, and there are no such thing as a white and black person. I've never seen a black person or a white person. It's not a color. It is a status. It's a
Mm,
status. So when we stop fighting against each other, stop thinking we're more superior than each other, and we can come together as a people. So power can truly be to the people. That's control opposition to have us fight amongst each other. It's too late in the game for
mm,
us to be coming at each other when we got devils that are black, that are so-called black, white, Chinese, all that. They're masking around here on Earth like they're us, but they ain't like us. Come out of it. Let's get
mm.
smart. Let's get wiser. Let's get smarter. Let's stop fighting against each other. We see brothers and sisters fight against each other. Don't give that type of vibration any attention. Let's stop it. Let's stop it. Shut it down. We don't have for that right now. We got to
Chief,
move as
I was listening
people
to, and I have been listening to
so we
this speech.
inherit our Earth, our planet back. That's what time it is.
Yes, sir.
This is serious work. We have an opportunity to inherit our rightful place back. If we don't have time for brothers and sisters who want to be heard, seen, and spreading poison and division on these social media platforms. Period.
Chief, may I speak? Chief, I don't know if you can hear me.
I hear you. What's going on?
You were saying that behind the scenes, these governments were and countries were actually doing business with each other. They were friends, they weren't enemies. It reminds me of a conversation I heard President Trump say in a Fox interview in about 2020. The Fox interviewer asked him, what are you going to do about Iraq? Iraq wants you to pull out of the country. Iraq wants you to leave them alone. And he said they say one thing in public, but they say a whole nother thing in private. He said that. He said in private, we've had conversations and we've discussed us being in Iraq. And he talked about how, and we made them pay us for that. And she said, how are you going to make them pay you? He said, we have billions of their Iraqi dinar, billions of their money sitting in our accounts right now. And we made South Korea pay us. They paid us 500 million. And we made Saudi Arabia pay us 1 billion. He said, it doesn't matter to me what they say in public. What matters is what they say in private.
I'm going to explain this to you guys. When they show of so-called Gaddafi being unalive, when they showed the image of so-called what's his name, the other guy, Gaddafi and being unalive, all of that stuff is fake. It was a psyop. It was fake, guys. These people are tremendous. It was just like a number 9/11. 9/11 was a movie production done on the green screen.
What?
I said, the world is a stage, not America. The world is a stage, a Truman Show. Everything that we've been shown on television is all staged. I'm sorry to say that the California fires was staged, being set by them to set things up for the 2028 Olympics. They're clearing ground. They're trying to create smart cities. So this is what they do. They staged everything, and certain parts of California wasn't even on fire that they said was on fire. And it was direct energy weaponry that was shooting down this special technologies, setting certain things on fire. Guys, we live in a real reality. It's time to wake up. I know too much to be wicked, low down, and evil, and a liar to people. I know too much because I'm not trying to repeat this hell at all, period. So if anybody's right here lying on people, operating on a lower vibration, you're going to repeat this hell, and you don't know how and who you're going to come back at. Clean your house up and cut it out. Wow, serious business. It's time for us to roll our sleeves up as men and women, and let's handle business. Let's operate in trust. Let's be serious. Let's support each other. Let's love each other with an action. And this is what time it is right now. We have an opportunity to do it, and we don't listen to anything in lower vibration, because anybody that's about lower vibration, you won't make it over into the plus side. Make it.
Yes, sir. You speak with such authority, Chief. Thank you.
Pardon me?
I said you speak with such authority. Thank you.
Because I have conviction in my heart. Because I've seen truly what's on the other side. And I know that many of us wasn't born. We were sent to spread righteousness on the earth. And when you spread earth and your light shines like that, you're gonna have people that can hate on you and lie on you and despise you. But that's okay because the ancestors say, "I got you. I'm gonna fight your battles for me. Just stay and move forward." That's what time it is.
Yes, sir. Chief, before we get out of here, I want to bring up one last thing that I think is important because it's been circulating. I want to get your thoughts on this. Okay. There is a lawsuit, or allegedly, that's been going around that many people, from many different nationalities or ethnicities have been sending me since last night. And it sounds good. I couldn't find any truth. I don't want to say any truth. I couldn't find any evidence that this case is true, but I'm going to bring it up right quick. It's called the Zachary Moore, Moore versus Alliant Credit Union case. Allegedly, this case, let me read it to you, was decided on around January the 14th. And I can't prove the validity of it. Some people said the case actually did happen, but the outcome or the judgment has not been officially stated. Some people say the whole thing could be fake, but I want to hear your thoughts. It says, today the court renders a decision of profound constitutional and societal importance. At issue is whether the foreclosure proceedings initiated by the credit union on mortgage loan derived from fiat currency. They're saying that this violated the constitutional right from the 5th, 13th, and 14th Amendment. The case raises broader questions about the legality of monetary systems that facilitates perpetual debt cycles. In short, allegedly, this article asserts that the Constitution and the Supreme Court of the United States has deemed that fiat currency is fake money and that you may not use it to buy goods and services. Allegedly, this just came out by the Supreme Court that fiat currency is unconstitutional. Do you have any thoughts about this case in particular or fiat currency?
Well, yes, I can expound on that. Let's listen, guys. Fiat currency was never meant to pay for debt or pay bills. Why is that? Because fiat currency is just debt itself. So that means that the more fiat currency that they produce, that means that that's increasing inflation. That means that the debt rate, the tax, that's a hidden tax. Fiat producing more fiat currency is a hidden tax. So that means that, listen, guys, I'm going to tell you something. When fiat currency was meant to be traded, guys, not spent. It was to be traded. And I would tell you why. It's because when you put your deposits into the bank, any deposit you put in the bank, what happens? The banks fractionalize your deposits. What is fractionalization? Fractionalization is when you put $10,000 in the banks know what to do with those securities that they don't want us to know. They turn that 10,000 into 100,000. And guess what? Because you have a unalive man account, you don't get the proceeds and the profits that was made on that fractionalization. Why is that? Because you open up an unalive man account, meaning that your social security number was, and your all caps name wasn't given to you to benefit from at all, period. It was given to you at birth, and they turned your God-given name that your mom gave you into a corporation. When they turned your name into a corporation, the all caps name, they turned you into a corpse. They created a straw man, a fictitious you, that when you go to buy a house, car, or get a credit card, the fictitious you is the one that gets it. But they need your signature to sign that voucher, which your mortgage contract is what they call an implied trust. But because you didn't express who you were in that trust, what they told you was a contract, it has irrevocable trust on your mortgage contracts. Take your time and look at it. So you didn't express who you were in that trust document, which you think is a contract. So they by default made themselves the grantor, which by default makes them the beneficiary of all of the proceeds made off of that trust document. They don't even give and care about that house because they didn't make that money. So that means that 100% of your mortgage payment is interest. Why is that? Because it's been paid for already through real money, through credits that's backed by gold, not by the fiat currency at all, period. So there's a way, guys, and hear me out. There's a way once you have a trust, and you have that your estate number or foreign grantors number, if you have that set up right there, a trust is set up so that you can go after the funds. Did you guys hear me?
Say it one more
Because,
time, Chief. Oh, go ahead.
yes. Yes.
How
Once you
can you
have
go
that
off
trust set up.
Okay. Make sure you have the
Well, I
trust
was
set
saying,
up. And you can, go ahead. Go ahead.
once you have your trust set up, that is it's pretty much started a new identity, saying that you are alive. And you
Okay.
have your estate number. Your estate number is there so that you can go after certain funds that you can't get with your social security number account and all caps name, because that account don't belong to you. This is why they can seize anything that you have and that social security with all caps name, because that it doesn't belong to you. It's theirs. You have to create your own, pretty much a new identity and trust, and have a state number, and that's pretty much saying that you're alive. And then you can stop them from operating in a certain way. You got the verbiage in that trust, you got the foreign EIN number, which is your state number or foreign grantor's number, and now you can work on getting funds back. And if you do a consultation with me, I'll go further in detail with that.
Let's give them your email one more time. Unity in Motion. UnityInMotion45@yahoo.com, right?
That is correct.
So you can email Chief Mack if you want to do a consultation at Unity, UNITY45@yahoo.com. And he does charge a consultation fee, but is very reasonable. And ask him any questions that you desire. And if you are interested in setting up a certain type of trust where you will be able to operate outside of the jurisdiction of the United States Corporation, then feel free to do so. He can work with you on that, but he can also work with you in other areas that we don't really have the time to go over, or the liberty. Because some things you have to keep in private, out of the public. But
let me real quick to
Go ahead.
people. This is why for the past 3 years I've been saying that what a beautiful time it is to be alive when you're connected to the right people and source meaning the Great Spirit. So guys, say these things every day, that you can remember to say these things, because it's going to speak into your life, into your soul. And I've been saying this, that the wealth of the wicked is stored up for the just. And
Yes,
we
sir.
that's on this call right here are that just, that the wealth of the wicked has been stored up for. That we are the very meek that's getting ready to inherit our earth back. Guys, we're going to go from last to first. I speak these things over you guys.
Yes,
This
thank you.
manifestation of our mouth. That we're going to be the lenders and not the borrowers. That we're going to be the creditors and not the debtors.
Yes.
We are the new banking leaders of the world. Speak this over yourself. Don't believe it, know it. Speak high vibrations over yourself. Smile. And know that even though things may seem hard, difficult right now, just speak to the ancestors of the Great Spirit and tell them thank you in advance. Separate yourself from any lower vibrational people, because there are monitoring spirits.
We lost you, Chief. Sister Sheena, Intuitive Reading, says, I speak into my soul. The wealth of the wicked is set up for the righteous, and I am speaking it into existence right now. Thank you, Sister Sheena. Are you there, Chief? We lost you. Sister Gina Lee said, this process has taught me so much, folks. Don't want to be saved. Those that refuse to listen. Everybody doesn't want to be saved. Oh, so what? Yes, what he was going to say, and our sister Monica is saying, is there are monitoring spirits in this chat. He was saying something about monitoring spirits. Sister Sheena says, I'm very happy and grateful for you, Dr. Kia and Chief. God bless you. We're grateful for you too. So grateful for you, sister. Thank you for being our moderator. I love you so much. And appreciate you taking the time to monitor the chat and send us high vibrational frequencies. Cameron asked Dr. Pruitt and Chief, are either of you concerned about the IRS becoming part of the United States Treasury, given that the 508c1 and 508c3, those trusts are established under the IRS codes? Chief is probably a better person to explain that, Chief. I'm not concerned about the duties of the IRS being put under the United States Incorporated, because according to our Constitution, or according to the way we set things up in our original government, the only department that can handle the money is the Department of Treasury. So that's why the duties were put underneath the umbrella, duties of the IRS put underneath the umbrella of the United States Treasury until the IRS has been completely phased out. And this is why Trump has said that he's going to have the external revenue services instead of the internal revenue services, because the governmental bodies, the United States Treasury is the entity that deals with money. So they'll be dealing with the taxing of and the tariffs of the countries. No more taxing of the people. That's been determined as unconstitutional and treasonous by the overturning of the Chevron doctrine of the Supreme Court. So no, I'm not concerned at all. That will all phase out the IRS, the Internal Revenue Service. They're not government, they're not lawful, they're not constitutional. So that's how I would answer that. But if Chief is still here, Chief, oh, it says his device isn't connected. So what I'll do is I will send him another link. Sometimes you got to keep sending links. I hope you're enjoying this, family. We only have a few more minutes, but I would love to answer any more questions, and especially if Chief comes back, because I think this is an important time for us to flesh out all of these things that we have going on in our heads and try to come to some resolution as we move forward into the golden age. So much. Thank you for answering my question. You're welcome, Cameron. It's always my pleasure. Sister Sheena says, Dr. Pruitt, can you please send my information to Chief Mack? I sure will. Yes, ma'am. Sister, I don't know that. Chief. Oh, we can hear you now, Chief. I don't know if you've ever emailed me. I'm not concerned about the duties of the IRS being put under the United States Incorporated, because according to our Constitution, or according to the way we. Chief, I can hear myself on your device. The duties were put underneath the umbrella, duties of the IRS put underneath the umbrella of the United States Treasury until the IRS has been completely phased out. And this is why Trump has said that he's going to have the external revenue services instead of the internal revenue services. Can you hear us? The government. Let me tell him that we sent you another link. I can hear an echo on your end. Okay, I'm sending him a private message. Any other questions? May I ask Chief his opinion on the RV, since everything appears to be fake or lies? Hold on 1 minute. Chief? So what I'll do is I will... Let me send him another link. Absolutely. Now, he knows about the revaluation of currencies and the reinstatement of currencies. So yes, you can ask him that question. And if we don't get a hold of him right now, you can also send him an email to Unity and Motion 45@yahoo.com and set up a time for consultation. He can answer any of those questions. Dr. Pruitt is speaking facts. If you're not here to learn and pay attention, exit the chat room. Thank you so much, Seven Lights of Yaya. I do my best to research the things that I'm speaking on and to provide sources to support my claim. I don't know if you've ever like I provide videos, I bring on people to speak, I supply what else? Articles also to support my claims. I don't know what's going on with Chief. Huh. Chief, I did send you another link. Someone has a question for you. You're welcome, Sister Danette. My main concern, Cameron says, is that the trust is being created under IRS codes listed on the IRS website, yet the IRS is supposedly being phased out. I will let him answer that question. One of the things I know he said is that some of us are operating according to how things are until it's completely dismantled. For example, if you have assets that you want to protect, do you want to just have them out there, or do you want to put them in a trust? And the most secure trust that you can under this existing system in case you transition before we go into the republic. So that is the way that I understand and understand it. So some of the things, you know, I don't support in terms of some of the things we do as far as conducting business. But since for example, I do have a driver's license, although I know that you don't need a license, but I have a driver's license because if I don't have a driver's license, then under this system and I get pulled over, unless I'm operating in trust or I'm operating in the private, I get pulled over. They got a whole way of doing things to take my car, put fines on me, lock me up. And I'm like, I don't feel like being bothered with that. But you're not supposed to have a driver's license because we're not operating in commerce. You need a license to operate in commerce. We're travelers, we're not drivers, we're travelers. But with the removal of the Chevron doctrine, with the overturning of Chevron doctrine through the Supreme Court of the United States this summer, all that will be done away with. But for right now, I have a driver's license, if you follow me. So for those of you who desire to operate in trust, the thing about this secure trust is that you're operating outside the parameters of the United States Incorporated, their jurisdiction. But yes, as far as your question about the IRS, talk to Chief about that, do you still have an IRS number? You still have an EIN number? Is it a foreign EIN number? How long does that last? Can you use it for now? What I've heard about these trusts that he holds, and I've asked other attorneys about them, is this is the most secure trust that they've ever seen and heard. And they do trust according to the United States Incorporated with the United States EIN. But the trust that Chief does allows you to operate outside of the United States Incorporated. So yes, please ask him that question. I think that's a very, very pertinent question. And I appreciate you asking that. Chief, I don't hear myself on his device now, but I don't see or hear him. Great question. Chief, we can hear you, Chief. Are you there? Sin Melbert says, we rebuke the monitoring spirits. Amen. Jesus Christ loves you too. Someone who was that, Mac Jones said. Thank you, Sin Melbert, rebuking those spirits. Chief, I keep sending you links. See if you say, sent you another link. Oh, yeah. I sent you another link, Chief. Maybe I'll send him another one. What else are you guys saying in the chat? What about state taxes? All taxes will be done away with. All taxes, all corporations, all federal fake corporations, they'll all be done away with. DMV help courts. Do I go or ignore? Oh, do you go to court or ignore it? That's a good question for Chief. He knows, he has powerful remedies for if you are called into court. Most snow ever had in over 100 years in southern Louisiana. 7 inches in Louisiana? Wow. Okay. Okay. Chief's in the chat. I sent you a link, Chief, but I guess you didn't get it. Chief Mack says, I help those who would like to get their diplomatic passports. Let me send him another link. So if you're interested in a diplomatic passport, he can tell you what it is and how to get it. So remember I told you there were 2 governments operating at the same time. You have the United States Incorporated. I just sent you a link, Chief. And yes, and you had the Republicans. There are some people that have been operating under the Republic for a long time, even before President Trump. There were people that haven't been paying taxes, never had a driver's license. Yes, sir.
Can you?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes. Let me tell. I can hear you. Ooh, somebody don't want us talking. Tell them I can hear you. You can't hear me. Chief. So there have been a lot of people that have actually operated under the Republic. What mainstream media would do is make fun of sovereign citizens and say sovereign citizens are unlawful. They'll lock them up and put them in jail. But the sovereign citizens, see, a lot of them didn't understand and understand that there's a difference between being sovereign and a citizen. That's a misnomer, being a sovereign citizen. Chief always says if you're a citizen, you sit in sin. It also means that you have the status of a slave. So you're either sovereign or you're a citizen. So mainstream media would make fun of those people who didn't clearly understand the process of sovereignty. But all right, Chief, you're on camera. You want to be on camera?
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Chief?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. Yes.
Okay. Yes, what was the question?
I was saying that there have been people that were operating under the Republic even before Trump came into office, because we had 2 governments. And so somebody wanted to know about the trust, and they're wondering, his concern is it attached to the IRS? And why get a trust that's attached to the IRS if the IRS is being done away with?
Well, I said this in the beginning, that the system is not broken but fixed, and that I said that taxes are a debt to people in the public, but a credit to people in the private. So when you have yourself set up in a certain capacity, then they can't tax you guys. They can't. So that way, there are forms that the private fill out with the IRS that the public don't even know about, guys. And it's let them know you pretty much changing your status with them. I didn't really want to have to go too much in detail with this lab like that, because people
You don't have to, Chief.
Don't want this kind of information out there. That's why I say give me a call me with consultation. I know you're serious. I can go into more in depth about it.
Okay.
But everybody's not going around here paying taxes. Now, if you say that you're going to pay them, if you say that you're going to give the mafia some money, he's going to expect it from you. Pay him his money. If you say mafia. That. So I go more into depth. I'm not trying to go into too much depth about that, because there's certain people who are going to hate, who are going to be in the comments, who don't want this kind of information out like that. I'm not trying to put it out there in the open like that.
Yes, sir. I agree. Well, Chief, I put up your email address, unityemotion45@yahoo.com. And the family is so grateful to have you here.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you guys.
Before we go.
I'm honored. I'm not, like I said, I'm not the smartest man. Whatever your belief system is, I'm not going to fuss and argue with you about your belief system or anything like that. I just know in my 53 years of hard knocks that I've come to an understanding that will shake the ground people walk on. So with me having that understanding, I can't do no evil, no wrong to nobody like that, because I will be judged. And I know that, and notice, guys, that every single everything that you do, unrighteous or righteous, is being recorded. Why is that? Because your body don't belong to you. It is a warehouse, a computer. That warehouse, the seat of your soul, your conscience, and it records everything that you do. So I'm advising you guys to repent and clean up your ways, because there's nothing you do wicked that's not going to go unaccounted for. Clean your house up.
Amen. We hear just a slight echo in the background, Chief, but I can't hear you. I think you might have me on another device, or maybe it's me. Let me see.
Yeah, that echo should be gone right now.
Okay. Another thing somebody wants to know, Chief, is what do they do about courts? Do they go to court? Do they ignore it? Or is that something they should ask you in the private?
That's something we talk about in the private. You know, you have to pay for a consultation with that, because I'm not going to go live and talk about that over these airways like this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I believe in there's a certain way you operate in. I'll say this much. I had a court date about a year and a half ago.
Speak a little louder, Chief, please. A little louder. We can't hear you.
I had a court date about a year or so ago.
Okay.
And because I operate in trust and had certain documents that I put on the court case, I was able to smile at the judge, smile at me, and I was able to walk out of the courtroom with a smile, and I hadn't heard anything from them. I didn't have to go to the court nervous, scared, mad, and angry. I went there in honor. I put certain paperwork on the record stating that I was alive, that I'm operating in trust, that my status has changed, and you let the paperwork do the talking for you. I set people up for that. Okay? So, and I haven't heard anything from them. And so I was the last one in the courtroom because they knew how I was coming. And they did not want anybody else in the courtroom to hear what I was about to say.
Wow. Wow.
So I'm telling you what I know, what I did, not what nobody else did. I'm talking to you about what I did.
Yes, sir.
So you got paperwork, through paperwork and the stroke of a pen, they was able to unalive us. So through paperwork and the pen, we can alive ourselves. How about that?
Wow. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Chief. If somebody wants, people are saying they're so grateful for the information that you shared this far. And if somebody wants to express their gratitude, as somebody has said they want to do, can you please let us know what is your Cash App?
That's Allen Judah, ALLEN Judah, JUDAH 47.
Okay. All right, that's $ Allen Judah. I'm gonna put it on the screen. ALLEN JUDAH 47. This is also the means by which you would pay for the consultation. So email him at unityemotion45@yahoo.com. And if you want to send him consultation money, once you email him, he'll let you know how much the consultation is. But if you want to send him a blessing just for, as a expression of gratitude for today, then please kindly send him a Cash App at Allen Judah 47. The family is saying much gratitude. This was very powerful, powerful words from you, Chief.
Thank you, guys. I just want to say that I love each and every last one of you guys. I understand that it's a wicked world that we live in, and I would never be loyal, vibrational, and hateful or rob or steal from anybody, because it comes back on you twofold. There's nothing you do wicked that's not going to come. That you won't meet again. So I have nothing but the most love, honor, and respect for any and everybody that's on this post. We are the star seeds. We're going to shake and rattle and get out and hand this back to bring righteousness back on the earth, guys. Let's continue to keep each other lifted, guys. Keep me lifted. Keep Sister Dr. Pruitt lifted. Let's protect each other. Let's cover each other. And let's bring our heaven back on earth.
Amen. I think those were amazing words, Chief. Thank you so much. Sister Intuitive Reading, I took down your phone number, and I'll make sure Chief gets your phone number. But he also asked that you send another email. And let us know in the chat, is your name going to be Intuitive Readings? When you send an email, just so that we can know who he should be looking out for. And then the final thing people want to know about, Chief, is the Dinar. They want to know if you think, feel, believe, or know that the exchange of currencies is real. What are your thoughts about that?
Good question, Dr. Kier. Let me tell you something, guys, something. I had a beautiful friend of mine, Dean. Dean is just awesome. Dean's in Australia. Dean, I talk often. I love Dean's spirit. Dean is white on the outside, but so-called white, but he's a brother in heart.
Yeah, he's a good man.
But
Yes.
Dean said, Chief, my buddy, my friend, ciao, Chief. He said, Chief, you want to go ahead and get those dinars. Now, let me tell you guys something. I went to my bank about 4 or 5 months ago to
A
inquire
little
about
louder, Chief, a little louder. I'm sorry to keep
listen,
interrupting.
I went to my bank about 4 or 5 months ago
Okay.
to ask them about some Iraqi dinars and the methods in which it took me to get them. They told me that they will order them for me, that I would give them the funds, and they will order them from me. This is about 5 months ago.
Okay.
Now, mind you, Dean said, Chief, hurry up and get them because they're over in Iraq celebrating. They don't want the people in America to know that they're celebrating. So I went to my bank and I was asking them about what do I need to do to go ahead and order some Iraqi dinars. You know what they told me? They told me that they didn't have it. They told me that they didn't have any Iraqi dinars at any branch to sell anybody. That told me
Wow.
two things. That told me two things. It told me that they were told not to sell any more Iraqi dinars to the public because those funds are getting ready to manifest and turn over, guys. If you don't have them, get some. If you don't have them, get some. And have your trust set up so that we're going to be doing some wealth management classes, learning trust law, private banking, and securitization. That's what I'm going to be teaching. So that when we get these funds, it's a certain amount of money you want to have in your bank account, but then you want to get investments. You don't have your money just sitting still like that. You want to put them in real estate, commercial real estate, property, so forth, and you want to turn. There's some things we're going to do, guys. And then we're going to come together as a cohesive family under our 508c1a irrevocable trust, which is your ministry and foundation, because each and every last one of us have a ministry and foundation in us. We are not sent here just to be hoarders and just greedy all by ourselves. We are sent here to be each other's brother and sister's keeper.
Absolutely.
That's the only way we're going to survive this.
Amen. Amen. Again, Chief, such powerful words, and you speak with such authority. The family is saying much gratitude. They thank you. This has been beautiful. They appreciate the information. Let's see. And somebody wants to know, do you have a lot of consultations in queue? They want to get away or hold of you right away. That's Cameron. Just go ahead and send him. Go ahead.
I've seen some emails come through, but I have to do consultations because I have a lot of existing people and clientele that I talk to, and I want to make sure that the people that I'm talking to are serious about what they want to do, guys. So I just can't just be on the phone camping out with any and everybody. The consultation makes sure I get rid of the riffraff.
Right. Sister Sheena wants to know that she sent a love offering to you, Chief Mack, and she said she sent one to me too. Thank you, Sister Sheena's intuitive readings. God bless you. We really appreciate all of you, Soul Family. I appreciate you, Sister Sheena. I appreciate all of you that I read earlier that send Cash App gifts to me and or to Chief Mack. I thank you all for your energy and your time. And Chief, one thing I tell a Soul Family is without them, I wouldn't have much relevance. Now, I know that I'm worthy and all, but without the Soul Family, I wouldn't be able to fulfill my purpose in the way in which I fulfill it. So I feel eternally grateful that God has put this group of people around us to support us and to love us and encourage us.
Dr. Kim, when they push you forward, you pull them along the way.
Woo!
Glory. When they push you, they give you the fuel to pull them along the way.
Yes. I
So let's
receive.
continue to push this sister so she can pull us along the way, because that's not a
Thank you.
lot of people doing what she's doing. Dr. Kid, we love you. We
I love you
appreciate you.
too.
You're necessary.
Oh gosh. Thank you, Chief. I've told people the other day that, everybody needs, I feel, some type of covering. I feel women need a covering for sure. And that you are my spiritual covering. You're the person to whom I give an account. And I'm just grateful that I have a covering that can, let me know if what I'm doing right and what I need to do better or differently, what I'm doing wrong. So I appreciate you, Chief. Thank you so very much for being the
Thank you,
spiritual
Doc.
covering for me and the others that, have called upon you to cover them and
Yes, ma'am,
guide them.
Dr. Kid. The relationship that you and I have, I appreciate it, because it's a pure example, guys, is that when we cover each other, it's a push and pull situation. I've been able to bless this sister in a mighty way.
Mighty
I'm
way.
so happy and glad that I'll be able
Thank
to
you.
bless this bless this sister and be able to give this sister to encourage her that you're doing the
Yes.
right thing. I'm glad that when I say the Great Spirit to our indoctrinated brother in the comments, brother, I have nothing but love for you. When I say the Great Spirit, the Most High said, worship me in truth and in spirit. So I call him the greatest spirit, because he is the great spirit. He's not flesh, he is spirit. So that's our Heavenly Father, and I
Yes,
am
sir.
his son. So that's what I mean by that, brother. I'm sorry I offended you, but it's not that serious, brother. But I love you. But
uh,
that's what I mean by that. But we are, and even though somebody have a different belief system right there, I don't have a heaven or hell to send anybody to. You're the one that send yourself to hell by what you
mm,
do, by the hate, the envy, jealousy, and malice in your heart is how you being reincarnated over and over and over again into hell, because too many people don't want to get rid of it.
mm.
I
Yes,
don't
sir.
have it in my heart right there, because I've been happy. I found out the source and the key to life of happiness, longevity, and wealth. And that's getting rid of purging all of the envy, malice, hate, and jealousy in your heart. And you do that. I challenge and dare you to do that and speak life over yourself, high vibration, and watch things change for you. I dare you.
That was beautiful. Absolutely. We have one person who blessed us with a super sticker. Thank you so much for the money that you sent. We appreciate you. Rod Tech Channel asks, how soon can you host a trust seminar, Chief?
We talked about that, Dr. Kidd. We may looking down the future real soon. We may do that,
Okay.
because that's a way how you need to operate in trust, and that's nothing I want to do on the public sector like this
No.
right here. We're gonna work
Okay.
on doing that, guys.
So we're working on it and it will be in the private. Absolutely. So, well, family, I want to thank you all so much for joining us here today. We went over so much information, talking about the inauguration and the restoration of the republic. We talked about currency exchanges. We talked about creating our own heaven and earth and loving and supporting each other. And we have a Chief Mack, who is chief of a particular tribe in the country of Georgia. I said all states are actually countries under the republic. And it was such a great honor and privilege to have him here with us because he's very busy. Chief, thank you so much. You're a wealth of wisdom. You're a spiritual advisor. You are a governor, so to speak. And we're grateful. But before we get out of here, I want to ask if you have any final words.
Just want to say, guys, just continue to love and authenticity are the highest vibrations, guys.
Mm, mm,
Continue to operate with love and authenticity, because there's not enough people doing it. But
mm,
there's more people, more than ever, that's operating and with true authenticity, which is changing the fabric of this evil realm and regime that we're in. The right
mm.
people are coming together through these social media platforms, which was used to cause chaos and confusion and divisive. We are operating, and we're using these platforms to operate in trust. So we are going to
Yes.
automatically get our inheritance. So I'm so
Mm.
proud of you guys. I am a righteous man,
Yes, you
not
are.
perfect, not perfect. I'm righteous. So just continue to do what you're doing. We're going to keep each other covered. We're going to continue to push this sister so she can continue to give us the financial forecast that we're getting, that we've been able to make some life-changing choices and decisions, not for us, but for our seed land that's coming. Thank you for being used as the vessel of our Heavenly Father, Dr. Kia, for
Thank
being
you.
that matriarch, that true honorable matriarch, that women should listen to you because you
Thank you.
stood the test. And because of your hard work, your dedication, and your humanitarian that you have right there, you are going to be tremendously gifted real soon.
Thank you, Chief. I receive all those blessings. Thank you, Chief. It's an honor to be, in fellowship with you, and it's an honor to have you as my spiritual covering and advisor, and to have you here with the Soul family. We look forward to us doing private consultations as well as private instruction and seminars in the very near future. So, family, you've heard from Chief Mack. You can find him on Facebook at, is it Judah Allen? Is it Judah Allen or Allen Judah? Yes, Judah Allen. If you have a gift that you'd like to offer him, as some of you have already done, then you can send a gift to $Allen Judah, ALLENJUDAH. Is it Allen Judah 47?
Judah Allen 40. The cash app is Allen Judah 47.
Allen Judah 47. Okay.
And yeah.
Yes, and you can send him an email to Unity in Motion. So that's about it, family. We are so grateful that you joined us today. We had 1,405 people in the chat. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, send the video out to the Soul family. Let everybody know that we are ushering in a new golden age, and we have the power to do that. So stay uplifted, stay encouraged, and please stay warm because it is cold out here in these streets. They're sending you their love, family. I'm about to call you Governor. They're sending you their love, Chief, and Chief loves you back. And that's about it, family. They're saying gratitude. I'm just looking at over their final remarks. Gratitude to you. They can't wait to get together. Some people are saying they're going to start the video over. So, family, today is Tuesday. You should see some good news coming in as we move forward into this golden age. On the 21st, you will see an alignment of about 5 or 6 planets visibly tonight. So be on the lookout for that. And there are many spiritual implications for that. Look into it. Having said that, you've met and spoken with Chief Mack and Dr. Kia Pruitt. My name is Dr. Kia Pruitt. I hope I said something. We've said something to raise your vibrations and inspire you to create the most amazing, magnificent life that you desire and deserve. Go out and make this a good day. Bye, family. Bye, family. I'm just telling Chief, can you hold on? Bye, family.